Welcome to Spirited Investigations and welcome to 10 spooky places in California. This list of 10 legends is part of a playlist of gentle listening spooky collections from across the USA. The screen fades to black so you can enjoy the stories without distractions. Please do consider a like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. First on the list are the Dark Watchers of Big Sur. Along the Santa Lucia Mountains, travellers have reported sightings of the Dark Watchers. Best seen in the late afternoon, they're dark shadowy figures that observe from a distance before vanishing. These silent watchers have been part of local legend for generations. Some say the watchers are up to 10 feet tall, their size accentuated by hats or capes. They may turn to look at you, but they will always move away quickly and disappear into nothing. Local native tribes allegedly spoke of the shadowy figures in their oral traditions, and when the Spanish arrived in the 1700s, they too told of what they called the Dark Watchers. Then, as settlers pushed west into the area, they also began to experience the sensation of being watched from the hills. In 1937, poet Robinson Jeffers wrote of one man's sighting. He thought it might be one of the Watchers, who are often seen in this length of coast range. Forms that look human to human eyes, but certainly are not human. They come from behind ridges to watch, Jeffers wrote, continuing, he was not surprised when the figure turning toward him in the quiet twilight showed his face, then it melted and merged into the shadows beyond it. Also, author John Steinbeck, who grew up in Salinas, spoke of them in his short story Flight. In the story, a young Mexican-American flees to the hills after killing a man. His mother says to him, when thou comest to the high mountains, if thou seest any of the dark watching men, go not near them, nor try to speak to them. Second, we have a story that repeats every February 26th or 28th. Every year, a ghostly woman in white is said to hitchhike along Niles Canyon Road in Alameda County. Her name is Lowry, who was killed in a car accident on the road in the 1920s. Drivers who pick her up as she walks towards San Francisco report that she disappears at Dumbarton Bridge, leaving behind only mystery. The road itself was unfortunately awarded the title of the Bay Area's deadliest road in 2017, with many sharp turns and difficult to navigate sections at night. Number 3. In 1892, Kate Morgan checked into the 130-year-old Hotel del Coronado in San Diego and never checked out. She registered under an alias on Thanksgiving in 1892, stayed for a few days, and then unalived herself on the steps outside near the ocean. Guests and staff have since reported flickering lights, unexplained sounds, and sightings of a woman in Victorian clothing roaming the halls. The gift shop has seen much of the activity, with items flying off shelves and books being rearranged. The Hotel del Coronado was named as a historical landmark in 1977. At number 4, and built in 1857, is the Whaley House in San Diego. It has been dubbed one of America's most haunted homes. The facade is of red brick and behind which used to be a courtroom where many felons were convicted. Copies of the case records can still be seen at the house. Visitors report encounters with the spirits of the Whaley family and others who met tragic ends on the property. Jim Robinson is one of those who may still be around long after death. Convicted of theft, he was hung on the grounds of the Whaley House. That sentence was not carried out very well due to his tall height. He swung from the noose for an unusually long time and, because of such circumstances, is thought to still haunt the property. The Whaley's first son, Thomas Whaley Jr., was stricken with scarlet fever at the age of 18 months. Some visitors report they can hear the sound of a baby crying softly, can hear little footfalls, and his innocent giggle when no one else is around. Mrs. Anna Whaley is the most common spirit in the house. People can smell her potent French perfume and sometimes see her in the parlour. Halfway through this list we have the Winchester Mystery House. Sarah Winchester, heiress to the rifle fortune, constructed a labyrinthine mansion in San Jose to appease those killed by Winchester rifles. It took 38 years to build, with Sarah apparently being guided by spirits. As such, the mansion became something of a mess of stairways leading to nowhere, doors opening straight outside from upstairs rooms, and other rooms that never had a purpose. All of this had followed a visit to a medium after her husband and young daughter died, where she was told to move to California to build a home for those lost to the Winchester Rifles. There are about 160 rooms. No one apparently knows exactly how many there are. There are 47 fireplaces though, 6 kitchens, 3 elevators, 10,000 windows, and 52 skylights. The number 13 was important to Sarah Winchester, seemingly as lucky to her as unlucky to most. It recurs repeatedly throughout the house. There are 13 paned windows, 13 panelled ceilings, and 13 flights of stairs. Some rooms have 13 windows in them. Added to all that, her will had 13 parts to it and was signed 13 times. As far as hauntings go, the 3rd floor is said to be particularly active for knocks, bangs, and other eerie events. Number 6 is about Bodie, a preserved ghost town, which has signs warning visitors against taking artifacts. Those who do often return them, citing misfortune and a belief in the Bodie curse that brings bad luck to thieves. The town itself has over 100 buildings, even cars and farm machinery that are frozen in time, memories of a time before the gold ran out. Sitting on the hills of the Eastern Sierra, the town of Bodie sprang up after William S. Bodie found gold in the area in 1859. It devolved into a very rough area during its heyday, with almost daily murders. The cemetery contains 200 graves, reminders of sickness, accidents, and those brutal murders. Outside the main cemetery is Boot Hill, where outlaws and prostitutes were buried, away from the regular folk. One of the most visited graves belongs to Evelyn Myers, just 3 years old when she died in 1897 after being hit by a miner's pick. Her grave is said to be haunted. At number 7, and docked in Long Beach, we have the very famous RMS Queen Mary, which is internationally renowned for its paranormal activity. Known as the Grey Ghost during World War II due to its repainted colour scheme, the ship survived a collision at sea, set the record for carrying the most people on a floating vessel at 16,683, and participated in the D-Day invasion. Visitors and staff have reported ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and sudden temperature drops throughout the ship. Over the past 60 years, the Queen Mary has been the location of at least 49 reported deaths, not to mention having sailed through a world war, so it's no surprise that ghosts and spirits continue to be witnessed within her rooms and hallways. The Queen Mary's engine room is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity, where the room's infamous Door 13 has crushed at least 2 men to death at different points during the ship's history. In 1966, an 18-year-old crew member was killed at the door during a routine safety exercise. His blue coveralls show who he is to visitors before he disappears into Door 13. The first and second class swimming pools are 2 more popular spots for the ship's otherworldly guests. For number 8, we have a legend of a man severely burned in a fire who now haunts the roads of Ojai in Ventura County. Known as the Charman, he is said to approach parked cars, terrifying those inside. He comes out from the forest to attack motorists, especially those who stop at the bridge and yell, "Help me, help me!" That bridge has been named Charman Bridge by locals. Rumour is that he's covered in black burnt peeling skin, with little more than half-burned bandages covering him, and his odour is of a disgusting burnt smell. He used to haunt Signal Street and Shelf Road, but as those areas became more and more populated, the legend migrated to a lesser inhabited area on Creek Road. There are several different stories about how he came to haunt the area, from being in a fire during a 1940s car accident to the same happening in the 1950s with slightly changed circumstances, to another where a man and woman are in a car accident. She keeps yelling, "Help me," but he's unable to help her. Charman is such a famous local legend that there's even a hot sauce named after him. Charman's Revenge Habanero Pepper Sauce was created by Chris Sutton and is made by Highway 33 Foods. It comes with the tagline, "Just beware, with 5 fire-roasted habanero peppers in every bottle, Charman's Revenge may become a reality." At the number 9 spot in our list is an event that happened on September the 18th, 1932, where 24-year-old actress Peg Entwistle leapt to her death from the H of the Hollywood sign. She'd made her way up the steep slope of Mount Lee in Los Angeles to the sign, which still read as Hollywoodland. Peg then took off her coat and neatly folded it. She put down her purse and climbed up the maintenance ladder on the back of the 50-foot-high letter H. After a few moments, she jumped off. Since then, hikers have reported sightings of a woman in 1930s clothing near the sign, walking slowly in her melancholy. Finally, we call in at one of Los Angeles' favourite hotels for the rich and famous to stay at, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. Suite 1200 is said to be haunted by Marilyn Monroe. Guests have reported seeing her reflection in a 6-foot-tall, black-framed, floor-standing mirror of the suite, though now that mirror has been moved to the hallway. As it happens, Julie, my wife, ran through to the lobby to try and take a look in that mirror, which was where it was at in 2004. Montgomery Clift, a good friend of Elizabeth Taylor and 3-time Academy Award nominee, is still hanging around room 928 apparently, and in the hallway outside. He brushes against people and can be heard practicing playing his trumpet. Renowned psychic Peter James once spent a night in room 928 where he witnessed Clift's ghost sitting in a chair in the corner. He watched the shadowy figure for several minutes before it vanished into thin air. There are 5 notable mentions for California, which include the tale of a Spanish galleon buried beneath the sands of the Colorado Desert. Treasure hunters seeking it reportedly met with misfortune, suggesting a curse protects that lost ship. Also Alcatraz Island, known for its notorious prison, it holds tales of a demon residing in its cells. Inmates and guards have reported unexplained noises, cold spots, and a pervasive sense of dread. Reports from Bakersfield describe encounters with children possessing entirely black eyes. These entities often ask for help or entry into homes, instilling deep fear in those they approach. A former Toys R Us store in Sunnyvale, made notorious for paranormal occurrences. Employees report toys moving on their own and unexplained voices, attributed to the ghost of a 19th century preacher named Johnny Johnson. And finally, travellers in the Anza Borrego Desert have witnessed mysterious lights moving erratically across the landscape. Some believe these are spirits of Spanish soldiers or Native American warriors. Perhaps California deserves a complete second list. Let me know. Well, that wraps up our journey through California's chilling chronicles, from haunted hotels to mysterious legends. The Golden State is rich with tales that blur the line between myth and reality. Thanks for joining me on such a varied adventure.